Good morning and welcome to more Breath of Fire 4. Before we get started, I have a list of things I wanted to go over that I did off screen. So, first of all, I looked into the dude that has the giant club that we wanted to try and figure out if that was a thing for Cray. Turns out it is. It is a thing for Cray. It is the thing that we already had on Cray. It is, in fact, the giant club. I don't remember if we got that through fishing or if we literally just bought it from a shop, but that's what it was. I also switched around a little bit of equipment on people, so like Cray's now got the Titan boots, for example. It just made a little bit more sense than his earlier equipment, which I think was giving him more defense. I'm like, fuck it, he's got plenty of defense. Give him even more power. Cray has so much strength. I also switched her weapon to the Electrifier, so her attacks, I don't think, are wind element. It doesn't say that they are, but it gave her like plus 30 more power. She doesn't hit twice anymore, but her attacks are a lot stronger. So I think that's an okay trade-off. I think that was the only other thing I really switched. Yeah, I think so. So there's that. The other thing is I looked into both getting the higher damage combos for Bunyan. Let's go to camp and I can show this a little bit better. So for Bunyan, you needed to do a lot of damage in a single strike. And for Keurig, you need to do a really high combo, or a number of hits in a combo. Using our current skill set, that is possible. So for Keurig, I don't remember how much we needed to get, but his final thing requires getting a ton. I don't remember how much we needed to get for his next one, but I figure I might as well just get as much as I can. And using a combination of, let me get actually back to my menu here, using a combination of, I think it's you who have it, yeah, Celerity, which increases all 4 of your stats on one person, the person who casts it. If you do that, then follow it up with a Vitalize through either Nina or Sias. That'll get you a ton of combo. And if you follow that with an additional Vitalize, you will not only have basically full healed your party, you will also have, I think, maxed out, or very close to maxed out, your power, defense, agility, and wisdom on the entire party. And you will have gotten yourself a 70-hit combo. So that was really cool. I did that against the Treants or Trunkers or whatever they're called, the guys that don't fight you back but have a ton of HP, and we have yet to be able to kill one. So that was cool. So we got that, so we're probably good with Keurig. Now, following up on that, in that same battle, where after I had done that, I did a little bit of reading into ways people suggest to get Bunyan taken care of. And you can go the damage route. However, the game considers healing to basically be negative damage. So you can, if you heal that same amount that he is dictating, it also counts that as dealing that amount of damage. So you can either do that damage or you can heal that damage. I went with the healing route because it's a little bit easier. And the way you do that is by buffing Nina's intelligence, which already had through Celerity. You can do it additionally through Inspire. I also have Concentrate on Nina, so I used Inspire on her. I used Concentrate to get her intelligence up a little bit farther, and then Restore, major healing on one target. I also used, I think it's Enfeeble. I know she has it. Yeah, Enfeeble on the opponent, which lowered their wisdom, which made them even more susceptible to magic attacks. I don't know if that actually works with healing or not, but that's what I did. Now, if you're still having trouble doing that, I think almost 1/10. I got almost 13,000 healing done in one hit using that, which I have to imagine is enough. However, if it ends up still not being enough, if you have supplication on Nina, you can also use that, because that will boost not only healing that will boost the effects of healing magic. So you can use supplication on Nina if you have equipment that improves holy element. Since all healing is holy element, you can equip that to Nina as well, and you can just buff the shit out of Nina to be able to do this. Celerity. Oh yeah, celerity I already went over. Just a really good thing. Yeah, so you can really stack it in your favor. So at this point, I think both Bunyan and Kirik, we can probably finish them. In fact, I think I want to in this episode, because I think that will be all of our masters finished out, because I think it's just those two left. Oh, no, there's also Geosil? I think it's Geosil. Yeah, these guys are all finished. Oh, yeah, we also have you. You still need... You're an item trade, so there's nothing I can do until I find the person I need to get that item to. Yeah, so we can go see you. We can also now go see this guy, who will give us the Master's Rod as his last thing. Because I did a lot of fishing. I got all of the fish that we need to finish out the rest of the trades that we currently have available. Okay, yeah, and then Shadow Walk is what we're going to get from you. So, I guess I'll look at fish real quick. Actually, no. To look at fish, I think the best thing to do would be go to the fishing spot. So let's get out of camp and do that real quick. Because I did find that the most aggravating fish to get was the angler, which you get from this fishing spot, I believe. I think that's why I camped here. Yeah, I think this is the one you get the angler from. Ocean spot 3. Yeah, there's the angler. And that's pretty much the only thing we need here. Or, there's a couple of other good things too, but... So the thing that I ended up figuring out that worked the best for me. There's a lot of different ways online that people say to do this. Some people say just cast out really far, let your hook get all the way to the bottom, and you know, because the angler is going to be a deep sea fish. So you want to cast far and let your hook get really close to the bottom before you start teching. The angler is going to have a really high stamina bar. So that's one way you can do it. Now, one of the suggested way to do it, we've got a ton of points now because I think I now have all of the fish in the game. I think I've now caught all of the fish in the game. I haven't gotten max score on a few of them, but yes, we now have seen every fish in the game, so I don't think there's any more fishing spots. And even if there are, I guess it doesn't really matter. The Dorado were also kind of mean to get, but more because they're rare. The suggested way a lot of people suggest to do this is to use crab, because it sinks pretty well, and it's good for catching bottom dwellers. Makes sense. But there's a lot of things here that go for crab, including octopus, which also have a really high bar. And they're a little bit harder to see. Like, yes, they have a round shadow, but when you're in the deep water like that, it's a little bit hard to see the shadows. And frankly, I found that using the swisher worked pretty well. It's what worked best for me. So what I would do is cast as far out as I possibly can. I have the angling rod, and then I would just... I don't want this fish. I don't actually know what this fish is. I'm going to guess it's a sea bass because it's near the top of the... You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to catch it anyway. I'm going to guess it's a sea bass since it has a fair... Actually, no. It's probably bonito, if I had to guess. I'm guessing this based on its shadow, which you can see is a long fish. The octopus also has a really high bar, but it's a circle. The angler is a thick fish, I believe. But there's no way this is an angler. Anglers are deep sea, and this guy caught it immediately. Is this an angler? No, it is a bonito. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So with this bait, there's only 3 things that will go for your hook: the bonito, the sea bass, and the angler, the fish you're actually trying to get. The bonito is a little bit higher up. So what I do is I've just been trawling down to get things closer to the bottom of the water here. And a lot of people suggest trying to catch the anglers near these rocks here. So I would just get close to these rocks and then start teching. And then basically I would just keep an eye on the gauge, and if I got a really high gauge at this point, then it's probably an angler. If it's not a really high gauge, then it's not going to be an angler. And by really high gauge, I mean that gauge better be at least halfway through your little gold box there. Because the angler is super high. I think the one of the ones I caught was like almost to the end of the entire bar. But yeah, that's what I did, and it worked pretty well for me. A lot of people, again, suggest using the crab and fishing near those rocks, and I tried that for several hours and didn't catch anything. So, you do whatever worked for you, I would say. But yeah, so we've got a lot of things that we can do now. First things first, let us... And again, you can get the Acheron here in North Chamba. I would just use a bait that only they and the... You can also get, I think it's bullfish there, and jellyfish are the other things you catch there. So if you just... I think it was lip? No, it wasn't lip. It was... There's 2 different places where we can turn stuff in, so I'm trying to remember which one it was. It was here. It was Chiqua. Yeah, to get the Acheron, they are a thick fish, relative... I guess not a super high bar, but you can use a bait that only they and... Do you have anything new? No. That only they and jellyfish will go after, and at that point it's very easy to tell if you've got one or not. The biggest pain with those was that we needed like 6 of them. I could get another skull staff if I really want. I'm not going to work... Oh, okay, this is where we got the giant club. Fair enough. So, we can now get the 2 things I want to get here are the force armor, because that's a new one that we hadn't gotten yet. Okay. Who can use this? Okay, our 3 guys. I don't think I care all that much. I guess I could give it to Gray. Sure. Sure. And we can get the Holy Robe as well. This is one of the other things that required Angler. Spearfish are not actually bad to get. Octopus we have so many of. And as expected, that only goes on her. I don't remember exactly what it does, but we'll equip it anyway. It doesn't seem to really do anything particularly different. Okay, and we can get Aurum from this guy as well if we want it. Cool. I might get the linked pole. I doubt I'm going to end up getting Render. Not gonna lie. That's just a lot of stuff that we have to turn in, and I don't think I'm ever gonna get there. I've already done way too much fishing off screen in this on this series. I don't think I'm gonna go that far. The other place we want to go is back to Astana, which is also where we need to go for the plot. Is it Astana? Is this where we're trading in fish? I think this is where we're trading in fish. Yeah, it's this guy right in here. Yeah, we can do that. Before I do the rest of the stuff in here, like the actual plot stuff that we need to do here, I do want to check out... Oh yeah, we can also get ivory dice. Actually, oh wait, no, that wasn't my calculations. Whatever. I want to get the Earthbreaker, which allows us to cast stone, I guess. And it is stronger and also lighter than the Giant Club. The Giant Club can stun enemies, but, like, who cares? Man, he does so much damage. I love it. Get the Culverin, which hits all opponents, has a higher hit chance, and a increased critical rate. So that just seems really cool. You know what? It's only slightly weaker than the Electrifier, and it hits everybody. So, and it has a higher crit chance. Why? Did I really not mark down correctly how many whales I needed for the star dress? Did I actually do that? Really? Well, at least whales are really easy to get. I can get those later, I guess. Alright, fine. Apparently I forgot to mark down 3 whales. Whatever. Alright, we'll get the life armor. Man. Okay, so once again, our 3 guys can equip that, and it restores 100 HP per turn. Probably not a bad one for Ryu. Yeah, that would be good to have. Well, we'll go ahead and get you. I don't plan to equip you, but we'll go ahead and get you. We can get more Aurum using Angelfish and whatnot if we want to. I do want to get an Ivory Dice. Yeah, so you use that in item. You use that in battle. I don't know if you can reuse it or if it's a one-time use. And Angelfish and Morefish are really easy to get, so I don't see any problem with just grabbing an Aurum real quick. Cool, alright, well, I need to get 3 more whales. Honestly, I might just go do that real quick off screen. We have quite a few more cards. We're getting there. I'm not worried about the coupons anymore. I'm just not. Dragon Tier would be nice. But, whatever. That linked pole, though. That linked pole would be really fun. Alright, well, fine, whatever. Alright. We have 3... Yeah, 3 masters I want to go see. Alright, first master. Hey, Garrick. Strong wind blowing today. Days like these always make me think of my old friend. So how's it going? Ready to be a real sailor? Been working real hard. I'll teach you cleave. Alright, what does cleave do? Attack versus all targets. Ignores defense. Okay. I mean, that's pretty sweet. I don't see any reason to give that to you. I could give it to you. You hit really hard. And you are a physical attacker. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll give you cleave. Alright. Need to earn it with deeds. Combo of 70 or more. Okay, and we have exactly 70. Disembowel. Okay. Fatal Blow, max HP drop. Okay, yeah. So we had a skill... In the third game, you could learn a skill similar to that. Actually, I think it is this exact same skill from Bunyan, who was one of the early masters that you got in that game. I guess I'll give it to you. Probably won't use it, but... Alright, cool. So that is it for Kirik. We have finished them out. Oh, while I'm thinking of it, one thing I want to double check. Now that we finished a master, did that make my game points go up? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if my game points went up or not. I figured out what caused the different dragons, some of them to be evolved and some of them not to be evolved. It's related to the game points. Once your game points hit a certain threshold, whichever unevolved or basic form dragon you turn into next, is what it appears to be anyway, it will become an evolved dragon. Now, the Kaiser and the Aura do not change. They are exactly as they are. They won't change at all. To be fair, the Kaiser is basically an evolved version of Aura anyway. But that's why Were is evolved. Were is the evolved Wyvern. Myrmidon can still evolve. Behemoth can still evolve. Punk is the evolved mutant. The reason why Punk evolved is because I guess I had enough game points at that point, and that's the one I chose to turn into once I had hit that threshold. If I had turned into Behemoth instead, I think Behemoth would have evolved instead of Punk. And it does look like the only real difference between them is their stats go up a little bit, and they get an extra magic ability. And I think maybe the color of their breath attack changes a little bit, and maybe they get more hits with their breath attack. It's good to evolve them, but yeah, it's related to your game points. There's a threshold with your game points. Alright, we're back up here to Bunyan. Unfortunately, every time you want to visit Bunyan, you do have to scale all the way back up his mountain and deal with the encounters here, so it takes forever. Alright. You've been able to improve yourselves. I see. You're learning even faster than I thought. I knew you had potential, but I hadn't guessed this much. Cool. We learned Shadow Walk, which I think is a guaranteed crit. Critical hit always hits. Okay. I think I would rather have that than triple blow. Okay. Come back once you've dealt 12,000 or more damage in one hit. Yes, okay. So we should have that. Yes. Okay, so yes, healing does count for that, and I do highly suggest just hitting that threshold before you get up here, so you only have to come back and see him once. Alright, Final Hope. Invulnerable for 3 turns, and then you get KO'd. You can only use it once every 3 hours. I'm not going to worry about that. Just not going to worry about that. Yep, and that is it. Okay. So that is it for the Bunyan. I will go ahead and pull... what I want to pull off, people. Okay. Supplication only works on the person using it. So it's actually not very useful for her to have. I don't actually care that much about Triple Blow. Rather have Shadow Walk. You got Fairy Charge, which is a melee attack. We've just got a bunch of melee attacks on you, and I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with all of these. Maybe replace Double Blow with Triple Blow or something, but whatever. I think we're good. Got Holy Strike, Flame Strike. Yeah, Flame Strike is kind of whatever, but... Air Raid is probably actually not useful to me anymore. And Shout is going to be better on someone who's faster. So we'll get rid of that too. Benediction is okay for you to have, I think. Honestly, having Oracle and Magic Ball is probably not useful. I guess I could see cases where Oracle could be more powerful. Yeah, sure, whatever, we'll keep them. And Fairy Attack is just fun. Alright, Backhand, I don't think I'm going to need. Egghead, it's funny, but I don't think I'm going to need it either. Alright, cool. So, auto counter versus attacks for 1 turn. I don't think I'm ever going to use it. Okay. Yeah, you've barely got anything. Cool. So the next time I want to learn a move, I'm going to use it with you. Alright, time to get off the mountain again. That's not the way off. Alright, last but not least, our final master that we can max out here today, who is going to be one of the last masters in the game for us, is Geosoul. Another fine day for fishing. Looks like you've been fishing quite a lot. Yeah, I think we needed 9,500. I think if you get perfect scores, like the little crown thing, I think the max score you can get in fishing is 10,000 points. So we got real close. We got real close. The Master's Rod. I'm impressed. You were a little tadpole, but now here you are, a master fisherman. Well done. Alright, cool. So we are done with Geosil. I am curious if the Master Rod is better than the Angling Rod? Probably. Well, I do know that I need to go catch 3 more whales, so I might just go do that real quick before we head back to Astana to finish things out here. Just in case I never actually outlined how we get whales, it's actually really easy. Whales and spearfish use the same method, they're just different depths. I use the dancer, I cast out pretty far. Oh, interesting, the angling rod actually goes farther. I actually prefer the angling rod over the master rod, interestingly enough. Looks like haven't actually tried the spanner, but it doesn't have as good of range as the angling rod. Yeah, honestly, I prefer the angling rod. But yeah, so to get spearfish, you start teching near the top. To get whales, you tech near the bottom. And then you just go for whales. I prefer using the dancer to try and do this. It works pretty well. For some reason, both spearfish and whales really like being near those 2 rocks. So that's really all it is. And once again, if a fish gets away with your lure, you don't actually lose the bait. So if you catch something you don't want, you can just let them take the bait. But if your line gets snagged on the bottom, I think this is either a whale or a spearfish. If your line gets snagged on the bottom of the ocean or lake or whatever it is, then you will lose the bait, so be careful of that. Alright, here we are in Astana. I went and got a couple of whales, so we can do this last trade for the Star Dress, +5 to wearer's concentration, and some really good defense that several people need. I did actually want to equip that. Oh well. Alright, cool. So yeah, let's take a look at that. I'm going to bet it's something for Nina. Yeah, so that's a lot of defense that she desperately needs. Ursula can probably No, Ursula cannot equip it. It looks to be Nina only. Fair enough. Alright, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and do that. She actually has some adequate defense now, which is saying a lot for her. HP is still pretty low, but what are you gonna do? Well, that takes care of everything that I wanted to do that I had kind of done off screen. And with that, I think we are actually going to call things here for today. I know we haven't done anything story related in this episode, but I've been recording for like an hour just to get this one episode out. So I think we're going to call it here for today. In our next episode, we'll figure out who we need to talk to here and actually move forward with the plot. And I don't think there's really going to be a whole lot more grinding off screen in this series. So I think from here on out, unless I really want to try and grind out fishing points, I think it's mostly just going to be on-screen stuff, which is pretty cool. But I'll see you guys then.